Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna see the intraday for Bitcoin, and we're gonna revise a little bit also from the daily what happened and what it might happen next. So basically, we are looking currently, of course, at our blue box area here, and this is of course our second scenario that it was, of course, waiting for confirmations once we invalidate, of course, the diagonal there, because we had, of course, a diagonal before as a possibility, and once the wave 3 becomes longer than the wave 1 here, then therefore, of course, directly we have switched it to the next priority, which is, of course, the WX and Y. This priority scenario right now is, of course, the highest possibility. Therefore, we are looking currently at an ABC there. The wave C is, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 expanding diagonal. Because again, of course, this expanding diagonal, I want to explain this a little bit, because this wave 1, 2, 3, wave 4 interfered precisely here inside the wave 1, which is not allowed in an impulse, but allowed, of course, in an expanding diagonal, especially when the wave 5 is longer than wave 3, and wave 3 is longer than the wave 1, wave 4 longer than wave 2. So everything looks perfect, of course, as an expanding diagonal over there. Meaning this is a very likely wave C. Of course, it's not allowed to be a wave 3, by the way. Even if it is a motive wave, it's not allowed to be a wave 3. A wave 3 is allowed only to be an impulse. Therefore, of course, even the scenario of a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 is not allowed here anymore. Yeah, so we cannot take it into consideration. Of course, some members in our Discord mentioned this to me, that he was still on this, insisting on this impulse. But yeah, I hope that this explanation will be clear why I went out of this scenario as 1, 2, 3 here, because it's not allowed to be a wave 3, of course. Otherwise, you have to take it a 1, 2, 1, 2, and another bigger 1, 2, meaning you are in multiple 1, 2s, which is very rare case scenario, of course. Now, what is allowed here to be, it can be all of it as expanding diagonal. It can be a wave 1. A wave 1 is allowed to be an expanding diagonal. Therefore, of course, this can become double 1, 2. And of course, because of double 1, 2, then you might have a massive wave 3. And this is our second priority, meaning we need, of course, to invalidate first a WX and a Y, meaning below 52k, and then of course we transfer here to double 1, 2, of course, and that this is our wave 3. So once the price here becomes like below the 52k, this is definitely wave 3, and then okay, we have to count double 1, 2 over there. So I hope this explains why we're not impulsive anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yep, so this is regarding what happened in this move. Of course, this low has changed a lot, and of course it has revealed new scenarios for us, which is of course a possible double 1, 2. This is very, very bearish. We're talking about 30k here for Bitcoin, which I don't call it yet. Of course, I don't confirm it before, of course, breaking the 52k, in case we're still looking for lower. Why in case? Because very likely, even as WX and a Y, you can have an ABC finish zigzag here, and you might have another zigzag as well finished over there, within an X as a bridge in between. So very likely that a wave Y can be done and finished over there, unless, of course, that this will continue as a very massive impulse, okay, and then having here as a 1, 2 again, and then having 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, and of course on the internal count here, because of course you can count it in two ways here. The first way is of course a double 1, 2 here, and a wave 3 is still unfolding, and then 4, 5, and a 4, 5. The second way is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, a full impulse finish. Once this impulse is finished, you can consider it as a wave C, meaning A, B, C, and possible, of course, wave Y can be done there. Now the market decision over here will tell us, will it continue as double 4, 5, meaning 1, 2, 1, 2, here 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, turning it very likely to a 1, 2 here, and wave 3, and then 4, 5. And in this case scenario, 52k is taken, meaning of course a validation of the deep wave 2 here, that it might of course finish as a wave A. Yeah, so very likely that we might finish here a deep wave, sorry, even not finished yet, as double 1 2, and then wave 3 here, and then 4 5 to finish wave A later on around the 33k 36k, guys. And this will bring us, of course, into a deep correction and very long correction, which it might take, of course, a longer time here. And it might be, of course, a huge A, B, and a C. The perfect time would be, of course, until June 2027 and more. Yeah. So, but before we come to this scenario, I have explained exactly what we are expecting first, of course, from this WXNY. So preferably, of course, that Bitcoin push towards the upside from now and finish here as WXNY and start the bull run, because yeah, it is very deep in case of course we are going too much lower than this. Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Hopefully we stay above the 52k, and especially we don't want to lose, of course, this technical area here. Okay, we don't want to lose it. We want to keep it above the 52k 1-to-1 fib level, and of course pushing toward the upside. Yeah, so this is regarding Bitcoin. Now also I'm looking for what it might be the case. Yeah, someone asked me why I have the linear fib level and not the logarithmic fib levels. It can be the logarithmic now. If the logarithmic is taken there, yeah, that's great. But I always take it to the maximum here. So I'm gonna take the linear as safety. And of course, yeah, how to say, test the maximum possibility here for the WXNY until the maximum, which is perfect, I would say. Yeah, perfect even with this scenario. And you can take it as logarithmic. As logarithmic, of course, it says 1-to-1 hit, which is perfect hit, by the way, in case this happens. But yeah, what if it unfold a little bit more lower? So can be also possibility. So in this case, with the linear, it will take anyway. Both case scenario will be exactly in this area. So basically, I'm looking for higher at the end, in case, of course, that this is done. However, preferably also here to reach the 0.38. So yeah, I would say very likely also to drop down a little bit, but preferably not taking the 52k to preserve the WXNY and then pushing toward the upside. So we'll see. Of course, this is based on the logarithmic as well. On the linear, we have took already the 0.38, even lower than this. You took even the 0.618 almost. Yeah. So this is on the linear, guys. But preferably, of course, to always test both. That's why I'm testing right now in Confluence with the logarithmic, of course, the 0.38. And we'll see, of course, it should be taken, I think, and then, of course, pushing for higher. However, right now for Bitcoin, we are still looking here on the 15-minute chart. We're still looking for something as double 1-2, and we see continuation toward the upside here. Confirmation for higher. So that is a nice signal today. Of course, it is something pushing for higher, potentially in 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. If this is going to happen, well, that is a kind of like an interesting bullish scenario here unfolding. I cannot count this, of course, as a leading diagonal. Wave 5 longer than wave 3 already, and you took the high, and that means, of course, you're unfolding here a wave 3, and we're looking potentially to finish, of course, an impulse, at least an ABC, and yeah, then of course continuation for downside in case this happens. So I'm gonna mark this as an ABC here, and of course there is a possibility as well for a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which is your wave C anyway. But also there is a higher possibility, also not higher, I mean higher in count, which is this one. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But be careful, wave C can be finished over there. Yeah, so once we finish here an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, wave C can be finished there. So wave 3, I think, even not finished yet, so it might even push a little bit higher, because you need, of course, to push higher than this. But also there is a little bit of problematic here within this impulse. 1 second, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, wave 5 longer than wave 3, and wave 1 also longer than wave 3. Yeah, so there is a problem here. This wave 3 internally is very, very shallow. I know it is micro, but also it makes difference also, guys. So we gotta be careful. So might be even W, X, and a Y. Oh my God, yeah. So many scenarios here. So it can be, of course, W, X, and a Y. I'm gonna take it on the 15-minute chart. W, X, and a Y. Okay. So also this is possible. Even W can be here, ABC. The X can be there, and this is a wave Y, meaning you dive from now toward the downside. So also gotta be careful with it. So yeah, by all means, we still have a lot of scenarios here, and it's not yet very clear. Nothing is confirmed that we are pushing for higher yet. What I would like to see is 5 ways up, 3 ways down, a clear confirmation toward the upside. Then breaking, of course, the 1-to-1 fib level as higher possibility to reach a wave 3, 1.618. And when getting, of course, a 3 waves or a triangle as a wave 4 here, then, of course, I will start to claim the direction of the market is pushing toward the upside. Before getting all of this, I cannot yet, of course, confirm that the market is bullish. Okay, so we cannot say we have bottomed and we are bullish and so on. So we're still estimating the situation, guys, and it can be, of course, many scenarios. W, X, and a Y also can be possible because of this. ABC also can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want to close the eye a little bit on this micro level. Even can be a possible of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 and a 5. In case this happens, this scenario, then okay, we claim bullish. Okay. But if this will not happen, I cannot yet, of course, claim that we are bullish for Bitcoin. So we'll see what's going to happen, guys. Much more possibility still, of course, to reach the 0.38, I would say, on the macro level a little bit, which is 56K. And before hitting the 52K, that would be awesome. And if we see a reaction from there, from this line here, that will be the signal, of course, potentially for a bull run to start from there. Otherwise, guys, we are very, very bearish. We're talking about 30K for Bitcoin. Hopefully not. That was it for Bitcoin, the intraday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.